Hi guys, so today's do's and don'ts is all around, yes, you guessed it, winged liner. What's that lovely meme? Never ask a person with winged liner why they're late. And I just thought I'd break it down into really simple steps and show you all the tools that I think you need to perfect your winged liner. Now, again, you look at this and you're like, wow, major wing. It's not massively wearable, is it, for every day? A couple of things to point out as a don't bring your liner too far up to your eyebrow for an everyday, just slightly feline look. It just comes too high and it kind of creates this weird triangle effect in the outer corner of your eye. When you're pulling your liner out, try not to bring the base of the flick lower than the corner of your eye. Does that make sense? Because what you'll get from the side is this weird like coming down and flicking up rather than just like a smooth elongated wing. So I mean specifically the base there of the wing coming below the corner of the eye, which is tucked up in there. The caveat, of course, is I'm talking specifically about a winged liner look that makes your eyes look wider and gives you that slightly kind of feline look. I'm not talking about experimental fashion winged liner, because of course in that respect anything goes. This is more for any of you who've wondered how to create your own flick. Does that make sense? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you a brush I love. This is the Winged Liner Brush by Zoeva. I love this when using things like Bobbi Brown gel liner or the Delilah ink liner. I just love the way it's tapered. It's so slim and you really can just pull out and create beautiful wings. I'm going to use a liquid liner pen today because I think that probably they're most synonymous with creating a winged liner look. I've got one here from Anastasia Beverly Hills and I've got the Feline flick from Charlotte Tilbury, which I'm probably going to use. But I also love the liquid liner pen from Ruby Hammer. I love the Beauty Pie one. I love the Bobbi Brown Blackest Black ink liner. Essentially a really nice kind of slim felt tipped liner. I find these much easier than your kind of bristle liquid liners. So the liquid liners where you've got literally a little brush with kind of long soft bristles, I find them a little bit harder to control. So if you're new to liquid liner and you want to perfect that wing, then I suggest like a felt tip. But I'm going to show you how you can first trace your wing with a powder, and this is purely so you've got a really almost like a stencil of where to put your liner. I think so often we just assume you've got to jump in with a black liquid liner and kind of expect perfection, whereas if you trace it first with a shadow, you then literally just draw over. Does that make sense? I also always suggest, if you are trying to perfect the art of a winged liner, then have to hand some eye makeup remover. This is the Bobbi Brown Longwear eye makeup remover. Some cotton buds. I've got normal cotton buds here, and then I've got some tiny little modelling cotton buds which I got on Amazon. I've got some concealer and a concealer brush. I may not use these bits, but these bits I find really helpful to have on hand in case. You can use your concealer brush to clean with concealer under your wing. You can use the cotton bud just to sharpen your wing. You can use your finger just to pull out the liner and sharpen the point. So those are all techniques. Let me get into it because I've been talking far too much. So, winged liner brush from Zoeva into, this is the new Urban Decay Wild West palette. And I'm going to pop it into a colour called, I want to say Laredo. Yeah, Laredo. Someone told me how to pronounce that online. And all I'm going to do, let's get nice and close, is looking at my lash line. So I want to imagine this lower lash line is extending out. So I don't want to come past the corner and then suddenly create my flick. I want my flick to come from the outer corner. So I've got a bit of that grey shadow on my brush. I'm going to tip the corner into my outer corner of my eye. and pull out. Now you see that very soft grey line there? That follows that lower lash line out to the corner of my eye and up a little. And I'm going to leave that there. So that's my little marker. Then I'm going to take the Feline Flick pen from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm just going to start going bit by bit along my lash line. Now you don't need to line your entire lash line. I like to, so I get the full almond shape. Though it is quite nice if you're doing a winged liner look, just to start kind of in the outer third. However, for effect, I'm going to show you the whole thing. So I'm doing lots and lots of little strokes. Do you see how I'm keeping my eye open? Now I'm keeping my eye open because when I close my eyes, that's when I get lots of fine creases in my lid. So I'm keeping my eye open so I can almost press the liner into the skin. Now when I get to the outer corner, I'm going to start to be a little bit more ginger with my application because I don't want to accidentally bring the liner too low. So actually, let me now trace over that shadow liner that I did. So I'm going to literally go over the top. Great, so just gone over the shadow. I'm just going to reactivate the pen. Most liquid liner pens, if you just give them a squeeze on your hand, a little bit more ink will come down. Then I'm going to pull in the outer corner. Now you can see there's a little hole there where there's no liner pigment. I'm going to fill that in. Great. And there we have a very classic everyday wing, which you could do slightly shorter if you wanted to. You could do it slightly longer if you wanted to. If necessary, you could go underneath with your concealer brush and just tidy up the edge. You can use the concealer brush just to pull the very tip of that wing out if you want to make it really sharp. And then all you have to do, very quickly finish with a bit of mascara. So I'm just going to curl that lash and then go ahead with a bit of Lash Freak mascara. But do you see how much wider the eye looks thanks to that little bit of liner? But what's marvellous is that actually the only other thing I have on that lid is a bit of my bronzer that I brushed through the crease of the eye. So if you're looking for speedy eye makeup and you're really short on time and you don't have time to do, you know, some kind of, you know, beautiful smoked out shadow look, perfect a winged liner. It's a wonderful tool for helping your makeup look really polished and pulled together and like you are dressed and ready when actually all you've done is a tiny bit of eyeliner. So now I'm going to use my little modelling cotton bud there just for a bit of mascara. But there we go. Do's and don'ts for a classic winged liner. I just started fixing the wing and I thought, wait, let me show you. Cotton bud into eye makeup remover. Then all I did was I placed the cotton bud in the outer corner of my eye and I just started pulling up from the outer corner. I'm going to go to the clean end of the cotton bud. But do you see how actually very quickly, using a bit of eye makeup remover on a cotton bud, I've remedied or rectified that wing. Now it doesn't match this one because this one's more kind of slim and feline. But if your wing has gone wayward or it's not quite the look you were hoping for, don't panic. That's where cotton buds and eye makeup remover are your best friend. As I did, dip in, go to the outer corner of your eye, pull out. That will take off the edge of that wing. Then you can, with whatever concealer you're using, this is the Fenty Pro Filt'r, you can then quickly just fix the corners. There we go, just sweep underneath, blend that in, and no one need know that just moments ago you were struggling with a wayward wing. Also, this video will end, I promise. Good example of a wedge versus a flick. So this is a little flick. A wedge is a look I often suggest to those with really hooded eyes who say to me, Hannah, I want to do a wing, but I've got a fold of skin that I can't go over with my liner. There are tricks which mean you can go over the fold and create a clever looking line. Katie Jane Hughes has a brilliant demo of this on her page. However, it might be that a slightly stubbier pulled out wedge is more suited to your eye shape.